I mean, I'll probably never watch this again. But I suppose, for the sake of posterity, this reads the fuel inventory. The T is a little confusing. T is time and ticks, not temperature. This mainly reads the fuel inventory from a reactor. And when it is empty, it starts outputting ticks, which are accumulated in this. So this is the idle time in ticks. I divide that by 60 to get idle time in seconds on this pole. That is fed into this guy, which, when this inserts a fresh fuel, when this fuels the reactor, it captures the idle time. So this accumulates the this basically is a pulse, a leading edge pulse of the reactor being fueled to pulse out the idle time in ticks. That is fed into here alongside another pulse which has, I'm trying to figure out where the frick so this is the current idle time. This is basically the previous idle time accumulator. And so that is feeding into an inverter. So basically, this pulses, tries to store the new idle time in here. This pulses, stores the inverted old idle time in here. So these only work because this is delayed a tick by this pulse gen. This then simply goes into a division to get me the seconds out of here. So basically this is current idle time. This is prior idle time. The last trick here is we have one more pulse generator when we fuel it for a cycle number. This is just a this just counts up 0 to 3 forever and ever. On the pole is my current idle time in seconds I, my previous cycle time in seconds C, as well as the cycle number I would like to store. Just in this case, I'm on cycle 2, which is going to go in this row. Each one of these rows is identical with the exception of the pulse generators on either end. The pulse generators on either end here which it now occurs to me I see an optimization. These I've now freed up the red. I made a patch to put this on the green wire. That frees up the red. I think I can drop this down to one pulse generator, but c'est la vie. Basically, these pulse generators are coded with the cycle number. So these will only pulse when they're on the corresponding cycle. So basically, only one of these is capturing at a time. And they work pretty much the same way as like this contraption does, in that I'm subtracting the previous cycle time here. 378 and 379 in 0 and 1, and we're now on cycle 2. Yeah, I think this is working. This is working. Cool. But these are basically the same style of contraption. This pulses when it fuels the reactor. And I'm on the current cycle. Captures that into here. And subtracts what it was on the previous frame. So that's basically like this thing, and this thing. And one of the and two of the pulse gens. So I'm a little afraid to change it right now, but I think I have an optimization here. I think you can now feed the inverter straight into here. I think you can now feed the inverter straight into here. We're on cycle 2. We're going to capture cycle 2. I mean, we can test that. So where do you go? Theoretically, I can loop that back into there. I don't know if that's going to work. We're going to see. Should capture a 311 in there. We'll see. We have the power of undo, right? This is nice, though. This debugging this side's a little easier because I can try one at a time. It's actually nice. But yeah, that is the reactor monitoring doodad. And then basically these are kind of old school, but these just take one out when the steam is low and insert one when it takes it out. Oh right, these don't have override stack size on purpose. So that in case these are accidentally overfueled, it takes them all out in one. Well, it tries. It tries. So yeah, this is pretty cool. So then you can just hover over this pole, see the last cycle time, as well as the current idle time. And then you can go down this row here and see the current or the previously recorded cycle time for the last 4 samples. And I mean, you could, of course, extend this. All you have to do is paste a row, change the cycle number here, and bump the cycle up. So it's basically vertically extendable ring buffer, which is kind of cool. The fact that you can do that with 3 combinators, and there's probably further optimization to be done with color matching and stuff, and the new conditions, but I'm too dumb. I'm too stupid. But once we cycle this in here, once this cycles here, so we should store a 311 in here. Which you have the 7 and 42 you want to subtract. Well, the 311. And it doesn't care about C. It will just mix them together. I think this works, dude. We'll see. We will see. That'd be really fucking slick if that works, because that cuts down the mess substantially. So all I gotta do is loop back the red wire. Cut that out wholesale. Cut these out. Loop back the red wire.